trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
Bang, 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 bang. What's good, guys? Knicks podcast in the building. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk some shit out today, man. We got Karl Towns in the headlines today by none other than CP, the franchise from Knicks Fan TV. So I mean, listen, man, they want that guy to be the golden boy, and I'm quite sure a lot of you guys want him to be too, man. But respect to him, for breaking some news, for the fan base and stuff like that. They wouldn't give him something like that to talk about if it wasn't smoke. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the reason why I said what I said just now. You know what I'm saying? So, take it for what it is, but there could be something to it. And, the more I thought about it today, because I wanted to make a Julius Randle podcast, just to show love to Julius Randle, because people seem to forget how good Julius Randle is. You know what I'm saying? So I've been wanting to do a Julius Randle pod like all week, so I've been planning it and stuff, but just haven't been able to get it going here. But I was going to do it today, but then, this Karl Towns news come up. So as I'm sitting there thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? Even though I want to show love to Julius, 25, 10, and 5, over the last 6 years with the Knicks, you know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. All NBA, All-Star, and all this, that, and the other. So that's a big deal. He's a really good basketball player. Did this smoke here caused by CP? I think this might be something to it, man. They keep talking about it, but let's undig it, man. Let's dig up the stuff and really talk about it here, man. So I got it up. So we'll talk about that in a second. First, I just want to say what's up to whoever's in the chat here. We got Kev in the place. What's up, Kev? From Knick and Ish. Definitely good to see Kev in the place. We got Carlos T. Kev says, I'm good on Cat. You know what, man? I think everybody in New York City is good on Cat. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about I hate to diss people, man, but I think we all agree that like Karl Towns is kind of like a cornball, man. Like he talks and he changes his voice. He talks like this one day, and then when he's in the game, he talks like this. It's weird. Like, and then like the podcast voice, man, it just bugged out because he literally talks like that. It's like, oh, like talks like that, like yeah, like it's weird, man. So I mean, he's just like a very weird, like Drake-ish kind of like thing. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I don't want to bash the dude that way. We got to keep it basketball. But, just for, like, the New York thing and how we would fit with the current Knicks squad and stuff, I'm just not too sure, man. He did play for Tibbs, and he played some of his best seasons on the Tibbs, I got to say. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't made the playoffs in quite a while with the Timberwolves, but, they made it last year, with various different upgrades to the roster and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I'm quite sure a lot of you guys are like, man, hell no to Karl Towns. What's up, Bobby Santiago? We got Generation Gel in the place. What's good, my brother? Hope everything is good with you. Yeah, Knicks for clicks for real, man. With him, there's something to it, man. We'll talk it out, man. So let me just keep scrolling, make sure I get everybody. Yeah, the contract is definitely a big situation there, man. He makes a lot of bread. I don't have that queued up, man, but I think we all know that dude makes too much money, and just to invest in somebody so like I don't want to say flaky. But just like he's just not our cup of tea, to watch him and cheer for somebody like that night in, night out. But it's so funny to see people like jump to Julius's defense when they bring up Karl Anthony Towns. So that tells you a lot there because people want Julius Randle off this team, but not for Karl Anthony Towns, though. They like Karl Anthony Towns. They draw the line at Karl Anthony Towns, man. I think it's hilarious, man. Yeah, it's not a good look, you know what I'm saying? If he if he this is good in the sequel to White Girls, oh my god. Yeah, man, like he is bugged out, man. He really is bugged out. But I mean, is he from Jersey? He got like the Jersey connections. His dad is a big Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm quite sure that will be a lot of motivation for him to play well here and stuff. But we just kind of like talking about it right now. But yeah, he was injury prone too. He was hurt a lot last year. Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with his conditioning and stuff like that. He has like conditioning problems because he gets like little weird injuries that like I think if he would tighten up his conditioning and maybe like his nutrition, more nutrition than anything, I think that he would be fine too. Same thing with Mitchell Robinson. I think most of his issues is nutrition. Julius Randle cleaned all that up. You know what I'm saying? So he's been an iron horse up until recently. Those injuries that Julius Randle had is a little bit different because they were like force injuries. You can't like predict somebody getting his shoulder separated. His shoulder got separated because he got his legs cut underneath him. During the game. Same thing with the ankle stuff, man. The ankle stuff was kind of like freak injuries. Just from the simple fact he played so hard. And, stuff like that. It's not like he just like tore his labrum, in on a drive to the basket or just like stepping out the shower. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I mean the jokes are nonstop with Karl Anthony Towns. So that off the bat right there just like kind of like kills it anyway, man. But let's get into this, man. Before we talk about that, I just want to bring some current event news here. This guy that I talked about in the last pod, Paul Reed, he got picked up off of waivers, man. So let me get you up out of here, Kev. He got picked up on waivers. So what that means is the 76ers waived him, right? So he still was owed like I think 8 to 9 million, something like that, over the next 2 years. And the Pistons, since they have money, they're able to absorb that contract into their cap space. So by picking him up off of waivers. So that's what that means. So they're taking that contract for free. So if he would have cleared waivers, he would have been an unrestricted free agent, and that's how it would have gave the Knicks a shot to sign Paul Reed. But like I said, the Detroit Pistons did pick him up, and it's a good pickup. The Detroit Pistons, they're going to be strapped for talent. So a guy like Paul Reed, if he gets over there, that's a big opportunity for him to like really show what he can do over there. So keep an eye on Paul Reed. I think Paul Reed can actually play. And it would have been really nice to have him as a backup with Mitchell Robinson with the Knicks. I think he plays good bully ball. But Detroit actually has a lot of players coming on, onto that roster that's going to be pretty good for them. I'm thinking about Philadelphia too. Philadelphia has some good rookies coming up with them also too, man. So, shout out for Philly. They got rid of one guy, and they basically got the same guy in the draft. I keep forgetting his name, but this kid from UCLA. But anyway, that's what happened with Paul Reed, man, with that thing. So let's get into another trade. I got to show love to Eddie Presti from the Morning Brew Sports here. He's always throwing, would you trade this? Yes, trade this guy for this guy, yes or no? And he puts Vucevic for Mitchell Robinson. I mean, the money matches basically straight up, because I think Mitchell Robinson makes 12. I think Vucevic makes like 18 or something like that. So I mean, it's something that can be done, but just skill wise, yes, Vucevic would fit, pretty much the same way that Karl Anthony Towns will fit, skill wise. But as far as like being able to facilitate through Vucevic, you can't really do that. So adding a player like Vucevic, I don't think would help because at least from Hartenstein. His stats don't jump out at you, but at least you can facilitate some offense through Hartenstein. I don't think you really could do that with Vucevic. Vucevic is kind of like a guy where he would get the ball and an opportunity and he'll be able to score. It's not like the Chicago Bulls are actually running offense through him. He kind of was just kind of like getting in when he fits in, and he's not the toughest player, So I just think that Vucevic is just not the right player for the Knicks at any time in life, You know what I'm saying? But I just threw it out to just show Presti some love, man. So shout out to Eddie Presti. But this is the meat and potatoes of the spot here, man. You got Karl Anthony Towns here by my man CP the Franchise or Knick Fan TV. I met him a couple times, especially when he first started out. 2018, like I said, I've been doing audio and stuff since 2018. I forgot when I started the YouTube page. You guys can check whenever I started it by just going to the link in the bio on YouTube. You can find out when I started. I forgot what year exactly, but I've been doing this for a couple of years. So I got a chance to drink with him a couple times at the old bar that was at the Garden. It's since been destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So that bar's not there no more. But we all used to go there and hang out. Nothing but Knicks. I met Simeon Russell there for the first time. I met a lot of guys there for the first time. Had some good times there, man. So, that's my background with CP. I haven't seen him since, really. You know what I'm saying. But anyway, just throwing that out there. He puts it out there for the Karl Anthony Towns thing. So Karl Anthony Towns, they keep talking about him, obviously because nobody wants Julius here. The Timberwolves are actually losing a lot, so it made more sense then. But now since they're winning, it's kind of like weird. But just one thing about the Timberwolves, they're running a two center lineup. They got Karl Anthony Towns and the French the French guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they can't run a two center lineup and expect them to have success. So I think just on paper alone, them getting Karl Anthony Towns for Julius, if they could do a straight up trade to see if money didn't involve each other, I think it would make more sense because you get a more balanced lineup for both teams. You know what I'm saying? Because Mitchell Robinson will have to be a part of this trade some kind of way. It more than likely will have to be like a third team where Mitchell Robinson goes to a third team, and maybe that third team trades a player to Minnesota that works a little bit better for them. So it would be Julius to Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks, and Mitchell Robinson to a third team, and that third team is going to send another player to Minnesota. So that's probably how it will work. The Knicks more than likely, I don't think the Knicks will have to give a draft pick because we're giving a good a group of players, man. So maybe that third team, that would get involved. Maybe they throw a pick or something, or maybe no picks get involved at all. But that's what I'm thinking. How it would like a trade like this would happen. So like I said, on paper, I'm talking about Rudy Gobert. I don't want to diss the guy, but Rudy Gobert, he's a center, and but him with Karl Anthony Towns, even though they made the playoffs, even though they had success, like it was too clunky. It was too clunky for them. So like I said, if they was to subtract Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle, who's 2010 and 5, a good player in his own right, I think that would be a little bit better spread out for them. As far as roster building and stuff. As far as the Knicks, on the other hand, we're gonna have to crack this open, man, because it's kind of like a big can of worms. So let me just talk about it here. Yeah, as you can see, this is Ariel there. There's always a guest on CP show. He does MMA also, man, this guy. So anyway, they basically talking about copying Boston. So I don't like the idea of copying another team. Copying Boston with the 5-man out with the 3-point shooting system, that type of thing. So it's it's interesting. And I get it. I totally get it. So I mean, to go against Boston, we basically will be like almost on par with Boston, except that our focal point will still be Brunson, but our second go-to guy will be Karl Anthony Towns, which is different from Boston because Boston's go-to man is Tatum and Tatum and Brown. So Tatum and Brown will go to. KP is really like the third string kind of guy that kind of just gets it when he fits it in. So our guys that would do that will be OG. OG will be getting it when he fits it in. Also, Mikal Bridges will be doing the same thing, and it will be Brunson as the focal point, where Karl Anthony Towns is the second option. So it's a little bit different scenario here for the Knicks, but we will be able to push 5-man out where all 5 guys can shoot threes. So it'll definitely be a different look, but not really. So like I said, I'm going to keep unpacking this thing here. So this is the projected lineup that we all expected for the playoffs, because we wanted Julius Randle to be healthy. If Julius Randle was healthy with Hartenstein, OG, Dante DiVincenzo, and Brunson, if we had this 5 team starting lineup here, if we had these 5 guys healthy, I think we would have pushed Boston and possibly beat them and made it to the finals with this group here. You know what I'm saying? But we never got it. So the team that we did get was this right here, man. It wasn't this team. It wasn't Julius. Like I said, because Julius was hurt for most of the year, 46 games only. It wasn't Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson was hurt most of the year also. So you would have to click the playoffs and see who actually played. So, right off the bat, Julius Randle gets wiped off of this map here. Josh Hart, you want to talk about minutes played? We can do that. Minutes played. Josh Hart is the one that played the most minutes. Josh Hart, during the season only played 33 minutes per game. Like I said, it went up to 42, my man. You know what I'm saying? So 14 points and 11 rebounds per game for Josh Hart. The focal point changed. Everything changed with the Knicks. So this is actually the playoff team here. So we got Josh Hart, we got Brunson, you got OG Anunoby, you got Dante DiVincenzo and Hartenstein. That was the starting lineup for the Knicks. So that's how we were successful to beat to beat Philly. We beat Philly with this team, and then we could have beat Indiana if guys didn't get hurt. Everybody got hurt that playoff series. But just take a look at the guys I mentioned: Hart, Jalen Brunson, OG, Dante DiVincenzo, and Hartenstein. These guys were pretty successful together. So could the Knicks be thinking like maybe that's their best lineup instead of this one? This is the lineup that all fans thought they could have challenged the Celtics, right? So maybe the Knicks are thinking that maybe Julius, we need to get up off of Julius. Now, especially since we signed OG, OG's the highest paid player now. Can we afford Julius? That's the question, because Julius is going to be up for an extension. We definitely got to pay Brunson, because I mean, we're talking about Brunson taking a pay cut by taking the extension instead of taking the major contract, which will be in the next year on the year's off season. It would be kind of messed up if he did that, because it'll be leaving almost $100 million on the table. So why would Brunson have to do that? Brunson shouldn't have to do that. So if Brunson's going to take that money, that the Knicks going to give him the max money, which would be not this year but next year, then Julius Randle can't be here simply because of cap problems, man. So now this situation starts to get thick now, because now you're talking about do the Knicks think that this lineup here with these guys, Josh Hart, Jalen, OG, DiVincenzo, and Hartenstein, along with Miles McBride, I don't think Precious is going to be back, guys. Alec Burks is probably not going to be back. Mitch Robinson is going to be gone in the trade. Bogey's already gone already. So you just add Mikal Bridges there. So you just basically got Mikal Bridges with DiVincenzo, OG, Brunson, and Hart. You add Karl Anthony Towns to the mix, and now you have a different squad. Take out a Hartenstein for Karl Anthony Towns. So I mean, we got to unpack that. Karl Anthony Towns, he's not really known for like running offense through him, whatever. Like I said, he hasn't had much success that way, but he has made the playoffs in the past. But Hartenstein, was always found himself in a position where he can give guys passes backdoor and stuff like that. He still had enough space open to make layups and stuff if he chose to. Crashing the board, slapping the ball out to other players so they can get another opportunity. So that's what Hartenstein did for us, But Hartenstein also was hurt a lot, and also a lot of times Hartenstein would be completely invisible sometimes, especially he could be invisible for a whole half and then out of nowhere start playing well in the second half. So Hartenstein had his ups and downs too, you know what I'm saying? So maybe the Knicks think they can supercharge the position by adding Karl Anthony Towns to the starting center spot. So then you have Karl Anthony Towns at center with DiVincenzo, OG. Maybe not Josh Hart. Maybe that would be Mikal Bridges, and then Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they think that Josh Hart should be the starter with OG with Mikal Bridges and have Dante DiVincenzo come off the bench. These are questions that we need to be thinking about. And I think that possibly Leon Rose might be thinking along these lines here. So let me just read that over. So you got Jalen Brunson, of course, starting. I guess you can put Mikal Bridges there starting with him at the 2. Then you can have OG at the 5 and Josh Hart at the 3 with Karl Anthony Towns at the center. Now, does that make us a better team? Does that make us a championship contending team? It definitely changes things, because it gives us a better offensive weapon at center, somebody that we could run offense through the same way that we kind of did it with Hartenstein, but we can actually really do it. And Karl Anthony Towns can actually score the ball a lot. He can shoot that 3. He could drive. He can do everything really well, man. Can get you 20, 10, and 5 also from the center spot. OG is not really a power forward, but he could defend the power forward spot. Josh Hart is not really a forward at all. But he rebounds probably the best rebounding guy at his size, so he can make up for whatever OG can't give as far as rebounding and stuff. So that balances out already. So is that the way that Leon Rose wants to play? Is this how we attack the the Celtics and try to take the league by storm next year? It's very interesting to me, man. But I just gotta highlight these two guys, man. Just the addition of Mikal Bridges just adds a whole nother layer to the team, because at times we could put both these guys here in at the forward spot, especially if you play a team like Boston, because both of these guys can check Tatum and Brown. You know what I'm saying? That's it's interesting, man. So adding these two guys, man, just changes the franchise. It changes the franchise to the point where now we could talk about replacing Julius for this freaking guy. Like I said, I don't like it. I don't like it, but as I'm talking it out, and possibly the way the Knicks might want to play, because I can paint a picture how we can win with Julius. Julius is still good. He can get the ball. He can initiate offense. We already have a rapport with him. As we know, Julius Randle doesn't play defense. You know what I'm saying? He does try. He plays extremely hard. He can rebound and stuff like that. But a lot of times he gets lost. Sometimes dribbling. And whatever dribbling into oblivion. Sometimes he gets caught. Turning the ball over a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then also too, just defensively at the forward spot. Sometimes he gets lost in the sauce. 3-point shots get lost, transition buckets get lost a lot of times because of him. But like I said, if you slide OG into that spot, now OG eliminates a lot of that stuff on defense. And then with Mikal Bridges out there also and Josh Hart with the starting unit, man, these guys kind of eliminate those little mistakes that we would make on defense. And Karl Anthony Towns will be playing the Hartenstein role. And as we know, Karl Anthony Towns is a better player than Hartenstein, and he could definitely take advantage of the opportunities that Hartenstein have, but just tenfold, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, I hate to say it, man, but like I said, that's what this pod is about. Just talking this thing through, man. So, Hartenstein, like I said, Hartenstein, he was basically the heart and soul of these Knicks, man. Knicks made a decision, and he got paid a lot, man. He got paid 30 plus million. I want to say like an average of 32 million per year, for his contract. So that's a lot of bread for this guy, But we're talking about Karl Anthony Towns. How much is he going to get paid? I think his contract goes up to 50 million eventually. You know what I'm saying? So but if we're going to like run the offense through the center like this, if you're gonna have Brunson doing this thing, and then we also gonna be using the center to run offense through, then why not make that person the best player on the team? Hartenstein is not he wouldn't be the best player on the team, but it would still be Julius. So if we're gonna, like I said, I'll say it again, like if we're gonna be running offense through this player here, then maybe it should be the best player. Maybe it should be Karl Anthony Towns, your second best player. Maybe that player should be the person with the ball in his hands making decisions and stuff. You know, if you want to defer to the shooters and stuff off of the center and off of the point guard, then let it be OG, let it be Mikal Bridges, let it be Dante DiVincenzo, let it be Josh Hart, let it be those guys. Receiving the ball from Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. Instead of the way that it was before with Hartenstein. Maybe this is the way to go. So to keep it moving here, let's take a look at a Hartenstein's a little mixtape here. Gotta make sure I turn the sound down. Yeah, the sound is off. So this you guys can take a look here. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. And just run through, we just talked through this little highlight here. This is like a hype tape for Hartenstein. Here he goes, catching a rebound, throwing a touchdown pass there to the guard. Hyping up the crowd, getting everybody into it. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns it has that in him to hype the crowd up, but he can pass. Setting screens, Hartenstein sets good screens. I think Karl Anthony Towns does the same thing. You can see Hartenstein very physical inside, slapping rebounds and stuff. As you can see him there, finding guys on the cut, able to sacrifice his body to get rebounds. See him doing that right there, sacrificing his body a lot. Also too, Hartenstein did have a lot of injuries. He played through injuries too. You can see him diving on loose balls there. The one of the major plays this season was him making that rebound to give it out to OG, where OG found DiVincenzo for 3. So Hartenstein, he does that. He makes those dirty plays to help you win. Can Karl Anthony Towns do that? It wouldn't necessarily be dirty plays. He would just be, he's more adept at those finesse plays, man. So let me minimize that and go on to the next joint. Let me turn it off. I blow my eardrums out. Karl Anthony Towns, let's look at stats real quick. This is his stats as a starter. So 28 minutes per game as a starter. He averaged 8.7 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he did for us, man, with 28 minutes there. So just to compare, Karl Anthony Towns for his career, you could say for his career, 22, 10, and 3. So the assists are right there, very similar. For his career, 3.2. Last year as a starter for Hartenstein, 3.1. You know what I'm saying? So, just a little bit better production there offensively and rebounding wise. Of course, he played a little bit more minutes than him. What's the minutes per game? Let me check out minutes per game. This is projections here for per 36. Let me see. Minutes per game, 32. So not much more than Hartenstein. Hartenstein averaged 28 as a starter. Karl Anthony Towns averaged 32 as a starter for Minnesota last year and gave you 21, 8, and 3. So the points is what really jumps out at you, man. Also the 3-point shooting from Karl Anthony Towns. So that's interesting, man. So let's take a look at Karl Anthony Towns here. Some video of his also. So like I say, make sure that sound is off, or they blow my damn eardrums out. But take a look at some stats here. Let's talk through the video. You can see Karl Anthony Towns receiving the ball in the post. He's able to post up. The Knicks had a lot more movement when they had these actions here. As you can see, nobody's cutting because they basically got two centers out there. But Karl Anthony Towns can score on a one-on-one. Here's a little bit more movement here where this is the type of play that Hartenstein will be involved in, where he's getting the ball going downhill, able to find the shooters in the corner or get that little floating shot. Well, Karl Anthony Towns is going to score almost every single time like that. Here he goes again with him posting up. You see some cutters and stuff. Karl Anthony Towns able to finish with over two defenders there. Here goes Karl Anthony Towns just standing there waiting to spot up to shoot. As you know, man, that guy can let that 3-point shot go. Here he goes again, receiving it on a little guy. Most teams out there, they don't have the big man with the ability to stop Karl Anthony Towns. A little guy like that, Karl Anthony Towns is going to score on that kid, all day. Here he goes again, sealing off his body, able to get all the way to the basket. Nice hard drive, finishes strong right at the rim. It's interesting, man. Like I said, here he goes, taking another guy off the dribble, taking a smaller person off the dribble, just bullying him all the way to the basket. Full drive there. Here we go, standing on the thing, able to get inside for those rebounds there. So can he get inside and sacrifice his body to get rebounds? That's going to be a big problem too. Can he do that? So, I mean, he can get 10 rebounds per game. We know that. He's been doing that his whole entire career. You know what I'm saying? But can he get those tough rebounds to help you win games? That's the issue. That's definitely the issue. If we could take a look at this, let's look at some playoff stats here. So playoff stats, he's been in the playoffs 4 years. Like I said, he has made the playoffs before. As you can see, his numbers were down. I want to say like 2 years out of here, he was hurt. He was hurt in the playoffs. Last year he was hurt also. He just came back from injury. But 19 points per game in the playoffs. You got 9 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists. So his stats were down a little bit in the playoffs, man. So the 3-point shot is still there. Attempt 5 threes per game, made 1.9 for 36%. So that's a good 3-point shot there for Karl Anthony Towns. Adds a different element to the game. A lot of fans would like to get a 3-point shooter at center to make to stretch the defense. So I mean, you kind of get all of that, everything that you're asking for. You kind of get it all in Karl Anthony Towns. So anyway, did I convince myself that I want Karl Anthony Towns? I plead the fifth, man. I plead the fifth because I really, if I could find the picture here, I really wanted to give this a chance. Hey, with Hartenstein, Julius, OG, it would have been Dante and Brunson. I really wanted to give that a try. So now with Mikal Bridges, you put Dante on the bench, so it seems, right? And then you have Brunson with Dante. Excuse me, you got Brunson with Mikal, OG, Julius, and now Mitchell Robinson now at the center spot. Did we get better or did we get worse there? You know what I'm saying? I think we still need that playmaking there from the center spot. Just not necessarily heavy playmaking, but we just need somebody that's a live body that can actually move the ball. Mitchell Robinson is not that guy. He's really like a catch it, dribble handoff kind of do, always looking to roll to the basket. Karl Anthony Towns, he can do that, but he also will be doing so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this is interesting, man. It might be something that we probably all would instantly throw up in our mouths and probably shoot it out our nose if the Knicks traded Julius for Karl Anthony Towns. But yo, man, you got to be careful what you wish for. A lot of people have been begging for Julius to go, so you keep begging. Now the shit is here. And now he might actually be traded to Minnesota for Karl Anthony Towns. And like I said, on paper, Julius going to Minnesota makes more sense because they have Rudy Gobert there playing center. So him and Karl Anthony Towns at center is like redundant, So by trading Karl Anthony Towns, it allows Karl Anthony to play center again and let Julius play the power forward next to a real center, which will probably make them better also. It'd probably be much better for Julius's game. So it's interesting, man. Very interesting. I think Minnesota will be very interested in getting Julius, and I think they would take the chance on his shoulder being busted, him getting ready for the season. I think they would take a chance on it. And, Karl Anthony Towns had his problems with his injuries too. And I think the Knicks would take a chance on it just based off of what we did in the playoffs. I think they might think that that Karl Anthony Towns is the center that can fill in, that do everything that Hartenstein did, plus do everything that every Knicks fan wished that our center could do, which is shoot threes and score. You know. So hey man, I'm telling you, be careful what you wish for, man. Like people always saying stuff, but when it happens, man, now you have to just eat your words because this is exactly what everybody's been asking for. But people say they want Zion, the Zion trades and stuff like that, and whatever other trade, Devin Booker. Those trades are not happening. Phoenix is not trading Devin Booker because they had an opportunity to do that, to get possibly better deals from other teams, and they refuse to do it. So those teams are not doing that. We're not getting Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is not going anywhere. As you know, our guy, um, the associate head coach for the Knicks, went over to Cleveland. That's basically Donovan Mitchell's one of his best friends there. Finally went over to Cleveland because there's no shot that Donovan Mitchell's leaving Cleveland. So the writing is on the wall. We're never going to get Donovan Mitchell. We're never going to get Devin Booker. Who's another player? Zion. Like I said, Zion's not going anywhere because the Pelicans, I don't know what they're doing. They kind of need to trade Zion, to tell you the truth. I think they'll get enough back for him to make their team better, but I don't think they're ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Zion is it either because Zion can't shoot. Zion can score. He'll be electric. But he doesn't make the team better. He kind of like adds a problem. Takes away shooting from the team. Zion. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you got to be careful what you ask for, man. And I think, like, literally, just like who could replace Hartenstein from the offensive production that he brings to the table without losing rebounds or block shots? Because Karl Anthony Towns could block shots too. So without losing block shots, without losing rebounds, but you gain a 3-point shooting big. You know what I'm saying? And you maintain your passing and your mobility that Hartenstein brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? We lose toughness, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Definitely lose a lot. We definitely lose a lot of toughness, man. But but we gain so much more, by getting Hartenstein. And then like I said, it keeps OG in the starting lineup with Josh. I think those two guys end up still starting, the way they did in the playoffs. Yeah, Mikal Bridges now. Mikal Bridges will be that shooting guard next to Brunson, and DiVincenzo will come off the bench as the 3-point shooter off the bench. And I think you guys don't like it, and I think I might have convinced myself that this is the thing here. So shout out to CP. Like I said, I mentioned how I'm familiar with him. You know what I'm saying, and whatever. So definitely got to give props to him. They want him to be the guy. So this is a big deal here. This is a big move here. So I think that somebody might have told him to do this, put it out there. For the fans, to let them get used to the idea. Let them make a podcast like this one to talk it through. Because this actually might be it. Because the only reason why, like I said, I'm gonna repeat it again, Julius Randle is up for an extension. So it's not fair for Brunson to take $100 million pay cut. It's not fair. So Brunson should probably take the max pay cut that he's supposed to, the max contract that he's supposed to get. So if that happens, then you can't extend Julius because then the money is just too crazy at that point. You know what I'm saying? So then, the next best thing is to trade for a player, and Karl Anthony Towns is for Julius, I think he would be available. I think he definitely would be available. Mitchell Robinson probably will go to a third team, like I said. And that third team will send Minnesota, whatever, just to make the trade work. Yeah, man. So listen, man, if this happens, don't get mad, but I painted the picture of how it could work. But like I said, we all probably gonna need a lot of Listerine if this trade goes through, man. We're gonna all spontaneously shit out of our mouths. Not forget vomit, just straight shit is gonna spontaneously come out of the Knicks fans' mouths, all at one time, man. But it is what it is, man. So I see you guys talking in the chat. For those that will see this Knicks for clicks thing, that everybody's automatically gonna say. I think somebody said that in the chat already, man. I think this thing, this thing might actually be really close to like almost the truth here, man. So let me just say what up to everybody that popped in here, and we can just keep having little side discussions here before we get up out of here. Shout out to Coach Sear. So we were talking about Paul Reed earlier. So I made a pod talking about Paul Reed. Pistons picked up his option there, not his option, picked up his whole contract because he was waived. So they actually picked up his contract, and he's a Detroit Piston. So it is what it is. So the Knicks are still in talks to get a backup center, man. We're talking about Wessler, that dude from Utah. and I'm trying to figure out why would Utah give that player up if that player is so good, right? Then why would they give him up? They don't because they don't have a replacement for him for said player. He's also in their summer league too, man. He's not really playing all that great in the summer league. So I mean, I think people are talking him up a little bit too much, but it is what it is, man. People talk, man. But I mean, like I said, nobody's mentioning the fact that this guy Walker West or whatever his name is in Utah, that kid, which who I like, he's actually not really playing all that great in summer league, and this is a guy that you want to be, the backup center, possibly take over the center spot for the Knicks. Sometimes you gotta like pay attention to what's happening out there. Yeah, yeah. Look, look at Dutch. He said, "Why is this being a convo?" I hope you listen to the entire pod, man. I think it's worth talking about. To tell you the truth, he said, "Cat is literally the only player to get into a fight with Embiid and never back down." Yeah, so I mean, that's got to be said too, man. That fight was pretty crazy. He got almost choked out. They jumped on his back, and it was I forgot who was choking him out. Somebody was choking out Karl Anthony Towns, man. But he didn't back down from Embiid. Embiid was a bully. Embiid bullied us, made us look like pussies. He made Mitchell Robinson look like a pussy. You know what I'm saying? The little scuffles and stuff that with the Knicks had. I think Dante DiVincenzo was the one that stood up, and Mitchell Robinson was there, and Mitchell Robinson didn't do nothing. Karl Anthony Towns was enough to throw joints with Embiid. So he's not soft. You know what I'm saying? He's just goofy. If I could say that dude is goofy. He even looks like a goof troop um character, man. Oh my god, man. But yeah, man, I know CP is gonna get a lot of flack from this, man. But this is dope. It's good content. Good good way to definitely get some ears, some eyes and ears on your channel for sure, man. But like I said, I talked it through, man. Peace was good. Um, it's interesting, man. So the Timberwolves actually need more playmaking. Yeah, Julius Randle could do that for you. 2010 and 5. Julius Randle could help out with that. Definitely with the mobility and stuff. Julius Randle still could score. So they'll still get everything that they need. But also, like I said, they wouldn't want Mitchell Robinson in the trade. So it will have to be a 3-team trade where Mitchell Robinson goes to that third team. And then that third team will actually give Minnesota, that player that they would need, player or assets that they would need for Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to look at. Oh my God. But Kev says the Wolves are gonna want more than just Randall. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Julius, matter of fact, they will get more than Julius Randle. Like I said, they're gonna get because like I said, Mitchell Robinson has to go in this trade. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, there's nobody else that we can trade. It would have to be Mitchell Robinson. So Mitchell Robinson will be in this trade. Like I said, he probably would have to go to a third team, and that third team will be what that little bit more that Minnesota gets if this trade was to go through. So I think that's interesting. Amazon Finds is here. He said it's not going to happen. They would trade him this year. It's next year. So that's another thing too, man. I was listening to Spaces, man. I forgot who it was. I can't get the guys' names right, man. But they were talking about it, and they were saying that they would give Julius another chance, and then if he doesn't play well, then they'll trade him at the trade deadline. But how many more times are we gonna do that? We talk about Julius Randle. If he doesn't play good, we're gonna trade him at the trade deadline. Then guess what? Julius Randle plays good. You know what I'm saying? And then just last 2 years he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? That first year at Atlanta, he didn't play well in the playoffs. So I mean, Julius has had his problems, but every single year we always say the same thing. Oh, we're gonna give somebody another chance. Oh, we're gonna give Frank another chance. Oh, we're gonna give RJ another chance. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta see what's happening and believe it. Whatever you see, instead of trying to make something up, maybe it is what it is. Maybe that's what it is. So yeah, man, just going down. Says shout out to D Ross. He says, "No putty cat." Yeah. You scroll down, make sure I catch some other people here. Shout out to Korean Grant. He got the angry emoji, posting the angry emoji out there. Sliding down. Let me see if anybody. I see Mike K here. So Mike K was talking about this offline with me. Not offline, but online, but in private, about this, man. So he says he thinks that the Knicks do a 3-team trade, like I said, to New Orleans. New Orleans will be interesting because they kind of need a center. They just signed Thice, whatever his name is. They signed Thice, so they kind of need a center. So if Minnesota, if the Pelicans take on Mitchell Robinson, they will have to trade away somebody to the Timberwolves, man. So definitely for Mitchell Robinson, Timberwolves could give something decent back. Maybe Herb Jones, or something like that to Minnesota. That might be enough to entice Minnesota to make a trade like this. Dios mío. Like, I mean, I'm just like I'm talking it through, man. But like, I man, I mean, I don't know about Karl Anthony Towns, but like I said, I talked it out and it makes sense. It does make sense. If it goes down, it makes sense, man. Shout out to Bagger Jones. He says, "Hey, Rue, just got here. What's going on with Cappy and the Nick?" Nah, man, your boy CP the franchise from Knicks Fan TV, he posted this, man. So he's putting his quote unquote credibility on the line this type of thing here. Clickbait talk of the week, yeah, man. But like I said, a clickbait article like this and becoming a tabloid clickbait person will destroy your channel. In my opinion, it would destroy whatever thing you have with the fans. They're gonna get tired of shit like this. So for him to post something like this, it's a risk. You know what I'm saying? But I think that possibly that they might have told them to do that just to get the Knicks, or just to get the Knicks fans used to the idea or talking about it, so they can prepare themselves for it. You know what I'm saying? Because he is the biggest Knicks podcaster right now, biggest YouTube channel, right now. So all eyes are on this story just because he said something. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks could have told him to put this out here, like I said, just so the Knicks fans could talk about it and get used to the idea of it. That's all I'm saying, man. Yeah, man, he seems soft. He does, man. I mean, like I said, I was joking about him earlier, man. He literally changes his voice in interviews. Like, talk like that in interviews. Oh my god! Like, and like he's so like loose with it. He's like zesty, man. He's like so zesty with it. Like he does it like he did it. I think he did it on Paul George. He did it on somebody's podcast, right? Where it just like they just bust out and started talking like he's just so comfortable that he could talk. Like I just, oh my god, man! Like how bad did we want the Knicks to win a championship? It's crazy. So I mean, like this is the idea here. This is the kid Kessler from Utah. Just take Kessler. Just trade for Kessler. Like all of a sudden Kessler is like this great player, right? But I was talking about Kessler last year, and nobody wanted to hear the bullshit. They didn't. They didn't want to hear it. Mitchell Robinson is better, and Kessler. Who the fuck is this guy? You know what I'm saying? But now all of a sudden everybody thinks Kessler is so good, and the Knicks don't get Kessler. If the Knicks don't get Kessler, I'm gonna cut my dick off. It's like, come on, man. Like fans are crazy. Look at Precious. Precious. People thought that Precious was a throw in the trade. Nobody cared about him. And until he started playing well. Now there's some fans out there going hard for Precious, like they've been they've been loving the guy. They didn't even know who the fuck he was until he started playing well for us. When Julius went down. After the trade happened and stuff like that, and then Julius went down and Precious started playing well. Then they started to like him because they never even seen him play, never heard of him before. So I mean, fans are bugged out, man. Shout out to Harlem C. I know I saw Harlem, man, so I want to make sure I said what up. He says, to get Cat, you have to send 3 players just to get 1. Randall, Deuce, and maybe Bridges. I don't know. I don't know about the Nova Knicks. I think the Nova Knicks are solidified. They're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we're trading any of the Nova Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Especially since we got them, I don't think we could trade them right away because the trades just happened. They're official. So since the trades are official, I don't think we can trade the guys right away so quickly like that. I don't think Josh Hart is going anywhere. Those guys, none of those guys, DiVincenzo, those guys are not going nowhere for now. You know what I'm saying? So 3 players, to make the money work, yeah, it's probably gonna have to happen. But I believe Julius and Mitchell Robinson alone, I think those guys make the trade work. Because I think right now, I think Karl Anthony, I'm not looking at the numbers, you can Google it or whatever, man. But I believe that Karl Anthony Towns is not up to the 50 year 50 mil a year mark yet. I think it's still like 30 something or maybe a little bit more than that, like almost like 40, if not in the 40s now. So if you put Julius's contract and Mitch's contract, it matches Karl Anthony Towns for next year. So the trade probably should work. I don't think I need to put it up on the screen. That's something just to talk about as time goes on. But yeah, man. Sheesh. I just, yeah, I'm just thinking about it, man. This thing with Mitch, so people want to keep Mitch, but like I keep saying it, I'm not a fan of Mitch, right? But I can see how Mitch can help us. I can see how Mitch can help the franchise and stuff. So, like I said, I'll be good if we don't do nothing and we keep Julius and Mitch at the power forward and center spot. We'll be fine, I think. You know what I'm saying? But Mitchell Robinson, he literally can't score, fam. He can't score. Like how many times have you seen videos of him going in between his legs and stuff? But the guy can't make free throws. Forget about shooting a 15-foot jump shot. The guy shoots 3-point shots, off the dribble in these videos that we've seen. You know what I'm saying? But in games, like I said, he can't make free throws. He can't make simple layups. And he keeps trying to make these super athletic dunks. A lot of times he misses them. Then he has to shoot a free throw, and he's only shooting 30%. He's only like a dribble handoff guy. He's not really good at like what Hartenstein was good at, which was making lead passes and stuff like that. He's not good at that. Mitchell Robinson. So everything with Mitchell Robinson is has to do with his athleticism, being able to out jump, out run the other center. So I mean, like I said, you can't just give Mitchell Robinson the ball and let him drive and create and make a layup or something like that, because he can't do it. So he has a lot of limitations to his game. So that's the only thing I say about Mitchell Robinson. Like I said, I made so many podcasts talking badly about him. You know what I'm saying? But I just gotta say he has value, but I don't know what people think that he is. He's not Patrick Ewing, man. He's not Patrick Ewing. He's not even he's not even in the same like realm of any of these guys. We're talking about Tyson Chandler, or you want to talk about Dikembe Mutombo or whatever. He's not in the realm. And people say that Mitchell Robinson, he was on the thing to get Defensive Player of the Year at the beginning of the year. No, I think that's what people wanted for him. They wanted him to get Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe he did play well in the beginning of the year defensively. You know what I'm saying? But how long did that last before he got hurt? You know what I'm saying? So all this has to be taken into account when you're talking about a guy like Mitchell Robinson, man. So, I don't know, man. Shout out to Jigga. He's saying what's up. Jigga Porter from Morning Brew Sports. Definitely love to see Jigga. We got John here. John says, personally, I don't like this move, man. Nobody does. Yeah, that's what I have to say. I'm not saying that I want Karl Anthony Towns, because I absolutely don't, man. Like I said, I think all Knicks fans were pure shit out of their mouth. If we made this trade, I think we all would like be sick to our stomachs. We probably would have to all go to like our nearest bodega or whatever, grab the coldest beer we could find, and all just meet in front of MSG and just freaking talk it out. I'm saying, in like a group therapy kind of session if this happened here, man. But like I talked about it, man, it's not that bad. The how it works team wise and stuff. It might actually be pretty good. King Brazy, I'm still good if on Cat, I guess, but a little more open to it now that we got OG McHale. I mean, I think that brings I just think from the playoffs, watching Josh and OG run the forward spots, I thought it made us look decent. We were decent with those guys at the starting spots at the 3 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, McHale to the mix that gives us a little bit more size at the 2. You know what I'm saying? We still could play defense and stuff like that. With a bigger player there. We still keep DiVincenzo off the bench there as a shooter. You know what I'm saying? So that just paints the picture for a guy like Karl Anthony Towns and Brunson to work well with each other. You want to talk about Brunson, getting a screen from Karl Anthony Towns and having the option to give it back where Karl Anthony Towns can get that bucket. He makes everybody else better around him. By being that bucket, at the center spot. Because like I said, you still got OG at the power forward. Because OG's really, really there to guard the power forward. He's not really a power forward per se as far as rebounding, but Josh Hart gets mad rebounds, man, for his size, at the small forward spot, and that gives us speed there, with Josh. It looked good in the playoffs. We were just missing that guy. We were missing Julius, but if we get that guy from Karl Anthony Towns at the center spot, I think that makes us tough, man. I think that makes it tough for us, man. Definitely. Shit. Oh my god, man. Goof Troop, boy. Goof Troop. He looks like extra on Goof Troop, man. I can't get it out Hey man, yo, how was y'all day today, man? It was hot as hell today in New York. I was working today uptown. I was working uptown today in basically in the Bronx. I was working in Marble Hill area. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody that saw me over there, yes, it was me. You know what I'm saying? It was hot as shit out there, man. Whew. But it is what it is, man. New York, in New York gets really cold and it also gets really hot here, man. Right now, today, there was like there was no wind. It was all just straight swamp ass out there, man. So, you got to start wearing your powders. You got to start doing whatever you need to do to survive out there, carry a rag with you, go to the bathroom and clean yourself up, carry some extra deodorant or whatever you need to do. That natural deodorant don't work, man. Anybody use that natural deodorant? Man, that shit do not work, man. Cause I went to Memphis. I'm going on a tangent because I just want you guys to like think about this trade here. But I went to Memphis, man, for a wedding, and there was like a bunch of women in there with the natural deodorant. Before the end of the night, all I'm smelling is like Burger King hamburgers and like what do you call truffle French fries and stuff like that. But there was none of that there. It was all these women's armpits and stuff, man. It was just crazy. It's kind of embarrassing. But you could definitely tell that everybody's got that natural deodorant stuff on, man. Listen, man, you need that aluminum. You got to get that aluminum in your life. You're gonna be smelling like straight barbecue chicken with no seasoning. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Anyway, man. The Precious thing. That's a fact about Precious. Yeah. Nobody knew who the fuck Precious was. But also too, Tom Thibodeau doesn't trust Precious. That's another big thing too. He didn't trust Precious. He wouldn't call his name even after he locked up Embiid in that one game. And then he didn't play for 2 games. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Julius, I mean not Julius. Tom Thibodeau don't trust Precious, and that thing. So Precious is not coming back, and I don't think Precious is the answer as the backup center because, like I said, Tom Thibodeau don't trust him. So for those that are saying, "Oh, just sign Precious" and stuff like that, Tom Thibodeau don't trust him. So I don't think he's gonna come back. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, man. They want him to be the golden boy, right? They want him to be the golden child. He's the number one Knicks podcaster out there. Number one. That's hands down. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so far within imagination to think that like the Knicks will give him this information, to put out there just for because like I said, by doing this, he opens up, CP with and Knicks fan TV, they open the floodgates for them to be tabloid now. You know what I'm saying? The same thing like Stephen A. Smith always saying, "Oh, this is gonna happen, Knicks are gonna do that," and then it doesn't happen. So when it doesn't happen, then they turn into like, "Oh, see, the Knicks are so stupid, they should have did it." Right. So I hope this is not what they're gonna go for now, where they're gonna make a report like this, and then when the Knicks don't do it, they go, "Oh, see, the Knicks should have just did that." Like I said, then they turn into a tabloid, and I don't think this is what Knicks fan TV and CP. I don't think this is what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So for him to put this out there, I think that says something. So it's interesting. It's interesting. So we gotta wait and see. Eddie C, I haven't seen Eddie C in a minute, man. This is the Nick Zombie right here. Eddie C. He says, "What's up? What's up?" He said, Cat is the missing piece to the chip, able to play the five. Listen, man, I mean, I think you're the only person that said missing piece to the chip. Holy shit. Well, like I talked it out already for those who would like to watch the pod from the beginning. I went through a bunch of different points. Just if you take Hartenstein out and put Karl Anthony Towns in that role, he can set screens for Brunson. He can drive. He can find the shooters. He is the shooter because everybody says they want a 3-point shooter at the center for the Knicks to stretch the defense. Karl Anthony Towns does all of that, and you can also just isolate him, clear out, and just let him go 1-on-1, and he can get a bucket. And he still finishes games with 10 rebounds per game, man. He still can get you like 1.2, 1.1 blocks. Same thing like Hartenstein. Same thing like Mitch too, because Mitch hasn't really been blocking shots like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with his health being, the way it is. So I mean, yeah, man. Burger King onions, onion rings, and whatever else you could think of, man. I'm telling you, you got it. Like, the idea. Listen, let me just keep it a buck. Like natural deodorant will work on your privates. You know what I'm saying? Let's say if you got swamp ass where every time you play basketball, you end up having stink ass. You know what I'm saying? If you put some natural deodorant down the crack, that'll take care of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a tip right there for you for my diehards out there. If you got stink swamp ass and you're like in your MMA class and nobody wants to nobody wants to spar with you because you smell like straight ass when you start sweating, then using a natural deodorant in your little crevices, that will help you out. That will help you out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially you could even put it on your feet, but like under your deodorant, you cannot fuck with that. You got to get a regular deodorant and put that on there, man. Stop playing games. Okay, because we all need to do that, man. But I'll just leave it like that, man. So I mean, listen, man, I know you're not gonna like it. I know a lot of people are gonna be going in the comments and cursing me out and sending me death threats and all kind of stuff. But it is what it is, man. I think the possibility of getting this dude is real, man. I think it's a possibility, bro. And it wouldn't be that bad because, like I said, I'm gonna repeat it one more time before I get up out of here. In the playoffs, we didn't have Julius. Julius was gone, right? Mitch Robinson, was out most of the year. So at the center spot, people say, "Oh, Mitch Robinson's gonna start shooting threes this year." Jerk, jerk, jerk. Karl Anthony Towns can shoot threes, fam, and he can shoot them well. He's probably like, literally, once his career is over, let's say if he plays another 5 more years, he might go down as the greatest 3-point shooting center of all time. Now you could say that I'm crazy, but Dirk wasn't a center. He was 7 feet, but he wasn't a center. He played power forward, right? Uh, you know, outside of that, who else at the center spot that actually played center shot threes? You know what I'm saying? So it's not the so far from the thing. And then even if you go to Dirk, Dirk's 3-point shooting numbers compared to Karl Anthony Towns are very similar. Look it up your own self. You know what I'm saying? Look it up, and then like when the history is the books are written, this guy Karl Anthony Towns is gonna go down as one of the greatest 3-point shooting bigs of all time. You know what I'm saying? So that's who you're gonna have at center. And he still gets you double digit rebounds. So you don't lose rebounding. You still get the 10 rebounds from Julius. You know what I'm saying? Hartenstein is supposed to be the greatest passer that you ever seen, but he only averaged 3 assists per game. Karl Anthony Towns gives you 3 assists per game. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild, bro. This shit is wild. Look at Oh my god, man! I don't know what to say, man. If this, shout out to Mike K. He dropped $2 on me, man. I tweeted the trade. Feel free to bring it up. You tweeted it just now. I think I'm about to get up out of here, Mike, man. But Mike always sending definitely engaging with me on Twitter and stuff like that. Always give him good feedback on a lot of things, basketball related and personal related too, man. So Mike K is probably like one of the best, one of my guys, best guys on the internet, man. Definitely, man. Definitely appreciate you, man. But wow, man, what's John saying here? If the Knicks trade Randall for Towns, the vibes of the guard are no bad. Yeah, what would the roommates podcast say about that? If Julius goes and we get Karl Anthony Towns, I wonder what they're gonna say on the roommates podcast, man. Because I mean, the jokes, they have like that dry white boy, frat boy humor. You know what I'm saying? So I can just imagine, like what that pod will be like if we lose Julius for this guy, man. So, oh man, I mean, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to wrap this up and just revisit it later. But man, this is gonna be this is gonna be a crazy offseason, man. Shout out to the summer league because I got a feeling that like during the summer league we might end up getting like some kind of like clarity with this thing here. So speaking of summer league, when summer league hits, I'll be doing watch alongs again. Shout out to the watch alongs. I love doing watch alongs. So summer league games too. I definitely will be doing watch alongs on this channel here. You might see my kids too because my oldest, my middle son, he's my middle son. He's starting to get into basketball, so we probably gonna be watching together. So these watch alongs, you might actually see him, sitting with me watching the game together. You know what I'm saying? While I do the watch along too. So look forward to that. I look forward to doing some other things too. I have things in the works, man. I just don't have time. I have to work, man. You guys ain't paying my bills, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys ain't paying my bills. Shout out to Mike K with the $2 thing, man. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But this podcast and stuff ain't paying the bills, man. I am breaking my back every freaking day with this overtime. Today I made a lot of overtime today, in the sun, boiling my nuts off, man. But it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do to get money the way that you do it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will be back for the watch alongs. And I also got some more stuff, to talk about this off season. Like I said, interviews. I still got the interview thing. I keep talking about it, man, but I'm definitely gonna get some interviews popping off here. And that's really it, man. So definitely thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe, like you see it at the bottom of the screen. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up and things of that nature. One thing too, just to remind you guys, the subscriptions are all actually going up. So this month so far, I think we're up in the 80s now. Like for this month, I think I got like 80 new subscribers this month. If I'm not mistaken, 80 something. So that's good. That's worth an applause. I forgot which button is the applause here, but I mean, that's good news there. So as these subscriptions go up, man, hopefully by my birthday, I can hit a milestone and I could try to give away some of these Funko Pops that I have here. I also got like some magazines too, that I would like to give away also. So I mean, tune in for that, man. My birthday's coming on the 23rd. For anybody that wants to tune in for that. I don't know if I'll be available to pod. We'll see. I'm supposed to be going on vacation and stuff, man. But definitely would love to give away some of these Funkos here, man. As you can see, this is Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Funko there from NBA Jam, as you can see there, NBA Jam. And then of course the Slam Brunson Funko. I actually have this is one of them. I actually have 3 more. So I have one of these and I have 3 more of these here. So I have the stuff to give away for you guys. Also, would like to give away some gift cards and that type of thing too. You know how I do. But anyway, without further ado, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting the pod. I see you guys in the comments. I see you guys on Instagram, and I see you guys on Twitter also. Die Hard Knicks all across the board. And without further ado, 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb. Salute. That's what you do when you see a Die Hard. Where's my horn? Peace. Karl Anthony. The Knicks. The Knicks trade Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson for Clay. Oh my God, I'm up out of here, y'all. Let me do a quick outro, and I'll catch you guys later, man. Peace. Oh shit. Peace, y'all. I'll see you guys later. Karl